Hey guys, welcome back to DJ Speaks, and today I just want to sit down and talk to you guys. Um, Given the circumstances of the world right now today, I intended on doing a makeup video, a little tutorial, and I was going to touch on what's going on during the tutorial so I can, still produce some kind of makeup beauty content because that's what this channel is about, but no. I'm going to sit down and I'm just going to talk to you. I don't feel like I should have to do anything in the background to maintain your attention, because if you don't care to pay attention, then you're not going to pay attention. You can continue to keep your head in the sand, and by the time you look back up, hopefully you'll find yourself in a whole other place. I know you won't find yourself here. Okay. Now, I have a few talking points I want to discuss with you, specifically Black people. I, for one, am someone who will choose to take action, and if I cannot articulate myself in a certain way, I will choose not to speak at all. I have been very emotional. I have been very upset. I have been very angry for maybe all my life. When you really think about it, because it's not just the circumstances that are happening right now. I've been angry about this before. I've been angry about this before that. This is the building up of the anger that we're feeling right now, because this is not something that just happened. This is the spill. And back to my talking points, because I don't want this video to be too long. I want to speak on people who are feeling too emotional to speak, and I'm one of those people. When I feel like I might be on the verge of tears, out of anger, out of outrage, I will choose to not speak at all. And I think that's wrong, because I have spent a lot of my time trying to police myself in a way so I can express myself so it's more digestible to other people to feel comfortable. But I had to stop and take a second and recognize that the person who is making me uncomfortable, I have to stop and recognize, did they ever consider that I'm uncomfortable discussing what I'm discussing with them at all? Why am I putting someone else's comfort before my own when technically we are the victims? But when we choose not to play victim, when we are choosing to stand up for ourselves, that's still not digestible. So if you feel how you feel the way you feel, and vent in the way that you know how to vent, you can let your feelings take form in whatever medium that you feel it needs to take the form of, and do it for yourself. Do not do it for validation, because validation does nothing for revolution. That's the bottom line. Your opinion is still valid even when you are emotional. And right now I am beaming with emotion, but I know that my opinion still holds weight, whether other people acknowledge it or not, because it's mine. This is our revolution. A lot of Black people are in a lot of pain, and we appreciate our allies. We know that they are experiencing pain at the injustices that we are seeing, at the dangers that we have to put ourselves in to get anything going. I just want to acknowledge that when you have been living it all your life, every time you are happy, every time you are joyful, when you are a Black person, that is revolutionary in itself. So whether you're on the front line or not, taking care of yourself is an action against the oppressor as is. Because right now what we're seeing is a warfare tactic called demoralization. It's a psychological warfare tactic pretty much based on hopelessness. There is a pessimism that is attaching itself to the movement, to our people, where we feel like, oh, well, we'll do this now, but it won't matter later. We won't see change. We will. We have to remain hopeful, and we have to remain energized. We have to take good care of ourselves mentally and physically so we can maintain that morale, because that is a tactic. It's not a fact. It's not the truth. It's a tactic. Pessimism is a tactic in war. You will strip your enemy of hope, make them feel like they're trapped, like they can't do anything. But they can. You go out of your way for these tactics when you feel threatened. They've been threatened and they're acting on it. And they want to use our emotions against us. They want to make us feel like we can't do anything, but we can and we are. Where is my other speaking point? So like I said, if you are feeling too emotional, act on self-care. Because Black self-care is rebellion. Because if the oppressor had it his way, their way, we'd be miserable all the time. Because that misery would push you into a state of paralyzation. As long as we can remain optimistic, as long as we can remain hopeful, as long as we take care of ourselves mentally and physically, we can still live another day to fight back. And they can't have that, which is why they want to push a narrative that we're losing, push a narrative that we're fighting a losing battle. And we're not fighting a losing battle. We are fighting. We're not losing. We're fighting. So just remain hopeful. Take care of yourself. And don't let anyone to invalidate your emotions. Don't let anybody police the way that you want to feel. Don't let anybody police your perspective just because it makes you want to cry. That's human. Have you ever considered the fact that they take away from what you have to say because you're emotional? That means they want to strip you of a human right for you to speak. That's not fair. I have to be inhuman for you to listen to me? And that's why we have to release ourselves of their validation. Release yourself of the validation from the oppressor, because this is not necessarily about Black versus white. Because we have allies of all colors right now. This is about the oppressor, because the oppressor takes form in many ways, and it has taken many faces. We have seen our skin folk, okay, not act like kinfolk. We've seen that on the front lines already. So don't let them trick you into just thinking this is a Black and white thing, because this is definitely a Black thing. But don't let the oppressor trick you into thinking he only has one face. And that's all I have to say about the topic, guys. I just needed to get that off my chest. And like I said, my speaking points are: do not allow anybody to emotionally police you about your opinions right now. There's nothing wrong with speaking from emotion. We've seen Karen speak from emotion all her life. Don't let anybody strip you of that right. My second talking point is focusing on the revolution of Black self-care. When we take care of ourselves, when we love on ourselves, when we choose peace within ourselves, when we work on ourselves mentally and physically, that is revolutionary. An enemy never wants to see their enemy do well. Even if it's not with them, they don't want to see you do well isolated. They don't want to see you do well for yourself, because that means you're building yourself up to be even bigger than you already are than them. They don't want to see that. So take care of yourself. Taking care of yourself might not feel like it's rebellious, but it is. I promise you it is. And third, pay attention to demoralization, because that is a warfare tactic. It's been going on for years. The demoralization warfare tactic is all about leaving you feeling destroyed, leaving you feeling depressed, leaving you feeling like there's nothing you can do. And we are acting. Continue to act in whatever way that you know how, whether that's with your self-care, whether it's with the petitions, whether it's with protests, whether it's with donations. Remain optimistic. And that's all I have to say about it, guys. Be aware of demoralization. Do not let the oppressor trick you into thinking that he only has one face. Take care of yourselves. And validate your own opinions. See the worth in your own emotions. I love y'all. Bye.